everyone, it's Diane here from Diane. How are you doing this week? This week I'm going to show you how to make this card. Isn't it gorgeous? It's using retired designer series paper and my happy birthday is retired, plus this flower. Stamp set and punch are all retired. So, but I've still got all this stuff, and I like to use things, so I'm really showing you this technique. So this is called a rocker card. As you can see, it will rock. And if you place your products on there, your bits and pieces on there on the correct angle, it will stand up straight and only rock when you want it to rock. Now, you can write inside, but I've actually, I didn't have enough of this purple when I cut out, so I've got a white piece of card here, but we will be making one with ours with the purple bit of card here. So you write on the back, we write on the back here. Now this card measures 6 inches by 5 3/4 inches, so it will fit nicely into a 6 by 6 envelope. So this is our card for today, a rocker card and a happy birthday one. I'm going to do another one which I will put on with the photos in Christmas theme, so you will see that. If you want the written tutorial, just go to my Facebook group page called Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. Join in the fun. It's free to join in the fun, and you will see the written tutorial for this card. Okay, so let's pop that one out of the way and we bring in the parts. Now, I'm not going to show you how to cut the circles. I will go through that with you. I have 2 circle cutters. This is the Memory Keeper circle cutter, which is a really good cutter. I do find that the only problem with it is that it has, I'll pop them out the way for a second, these lugs here for holding your paper. So if you only wanted to do a 1-inch square circle, you've got to waste all this paper because you're going to have holes in it, and this is going to be right in the middle. So what I've done is I've actually put all these numbers here, and I cut my paper. If I want a 1-inch piece of paper circle, I would cut a 2-inch, and then I would line it up at the 2-inch line on all sides and stick it down with some washi tape, so that I can then pull it up afterwards. I just find that the easiest way for me. Everybody's different, but that's the way I do it. So I use that one, and I have a Fiskars circle punch. Now I know there's heaps of different ones on the market, but these are the 2 I've got. This one will do up to an 8-inch square circle as well. You just undo this knob on the top here and slide this along. There's a little thing inside there that gives you inches on that side and centimeters on the other side, so which is 20 centimeters or 8 inches. So they're the 2 I use, but I'm not going to go through cutting them out, so I will just tell you the piece of paper size card that I used to cut out the circles, and you can cut your circles accordingly with them, whatever you've got. Okay, let's turn this over. So this is a 6 by 6 circle, so you need a 7 by 7 piece of card. A 5.5-inch circle, so you need a 6-inch square card. A 5-inch circle in designer series paper, so you need a 5.5. I used a piece of designer series paper. You will then need another. These are all circles all the way through, so a 4.25-inch circle, so I used a 5 by 5 piece of card. A 3.5-inch circle, and I used a 4-inch square card. A 3-inch circle, and I used a 3.5-inch card. A 2.5-inch circle, and I used a 3-inch piece of card for that as well. You will need a piece for stamping your flowers on, which measures about 4 by 5.5, and for your happy birthday, which I've already done my flowers, so. But we will stamp them because Mum will have them, but I'm not going to cut them out. But I've got one here so I can show you how I put them together. So for my happy birthday, this measures 4 by 4 3/4. And there's my happy birthday, which I've already cut out. And then for our piece to hold our card up so it doesn't splay open when it's on the side, this measures 1 inch by 3 inches. So let's pop those pieces out on the side and these over here. And I will show you what I use, what stamp sets. Okay, so I'm going to use, and they're all retired, Picture Perfect Birthday for the Celebrate the Good Stuff. I'm also going to use, come here, this set called Pop of Petals, and I'm using this one here and the punch that goes with it, but I'm not going to punch any out. I'll stamp them, but I won't punch them out. I'll do them later for my mum. So let's pop them on the one side and let's get cracking. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use our scoreboard for the 3 largest circles and our, our piece of that stops the card from splaying open, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what you want to call that piece. I can't think. Like a stabilizer. So we're going to bring our, let's move back a bit. We're going to bring our board into the picture, and we're going to pop this in here, and we're going to score this because it's nice and like 6 inches. We're going to score this at the 3-inch mark, which I've already done, as you can see. So we'll just go off. I can't even see if I'm going. Let's see, let's turn that up. There. So we're going to score that at the 3-inch mark, right down there. Okay. We're going to then score this one at the 2 3/4 inch mark, and as you see, I've already done that. And the designer series paper, we're going to score that at the 2.5 inch mark, which I've already done. This piece here, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2.5 inches. And that's all our scoring done. So let's move them out of the way. Let's pop that over there. And what we're going to do first is we're going to fold and burnish our main card. So we're going to fold and burnish that piece out the way, ready to go, and that's just going to sit on the side for now. These 2 pieces we're going to fold in half and fold and burnish them as well. And the reason we're going to do this is we are going to cut them with our, we're going to bring our trimmer in, and we need to cut just the tiniest little bit off. Now, so this is 2.5, so we're going to go to about 2 1/4 inches. So we're going to bring this down to the 2 1/4 inch mark, which means that it will line up with this line on the other side here. We're just going to chop that piece off because that little bit there is just that way too big. And we're going to do the same with this one. This will be 2 3/4. So we're going to bring this down to the 2.5 inch mark. Whoops. Let's pop that in there nice and straight. 2.5 inch mark. Making sure it's nice and even. Straight as a die, as they say. And to chop that piece off as well. So we don't want those pieces. Now, if you want to do, just cut it in half first and then trim it, that's up to you. So let's move that out of the way. So what we're going to do next is we're going to, we only need half of this piece, so if you're making 2, you can actually do 2 the same colour, pattern. So we're going to glue that onto there like so. So let's just glue that onto there first. Making sure you've got a nice border all the way around. And see if you can get it a little bit straighter than I did. See if I can pull it off and put it back on again. Well, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Yep, I would say so. So that goes onto there, and then that will go onto the front of the card like so. So let's pop that onto the front of the card. Now try and make sure you get a nice even gap all the way around. I have done mine with a bigger gap at the top because you're not going to see the top as much, and it doesn't really matter. With our other piece, what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our like insert sentiment. So I have Gorgeous Grape, let's move my glue out of the way, Gorgeous Grape ink here, and I have the words, oops, no they don't say oops, they say celebrate the good stuff. So we're going to stamp that onto our piece on that we're going to write on the back of the card. How gorgeous is that colour? I love that colour. And we can close that up. Let's pop that out of the way, and now we can glue this onto the back of the card here. So let's glue that onto the back of the card. It's actually quite a quick card. The longest part, believe it or not, of this card is actually cutting all your circles out. So this goes onto the back of our card, like so. How easy was that bit? And now with our piece that goes underneath, whoops, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half and burnish it off, and then we're going to fold the two little half-inch pieces backwards onto themselves. So we have like a valley, a mountain and a valley, so it's like a very wonky W, but never mind, we don't care about wonky because it's to go on the inside. So we're going to put some glue onto the half-inch tab, and we're going to pop this into the bottom of the inside of the card, as close to the centre as you can get it. So when you're happy with that, then we're going to, so that it doesn't show out the ends, we're going to put some more glue on the other tab and then fold the card over onto itself. That way, what's going to happen is this card is not going to splay open, and it will rock lovely. Well, it will rock lovely. I've done that a little bit too close to the edge. I will put a bit more glue on that one and redo that one there. There we go. Beautiful, just like I bought one. I'm really having a good day today, aren't I? There we go. It will rock beautifully. And if it doesn't and you're not 100% comfortable with that, you can just go in there and just trim any little bits off that look like they're hanging over the edge. Like that. And then it will rock just perfectly. So let's get rid of those. So now we're going to work on our other circles. So a large one we don't want at the moment. These three here we're going to glue them together. So we're going to glue the white one onto the purple one in this case. And then the purple one onto the green one. And then we're going to put dimensions on the back of the green one. Oh, get on there. And then glue that one onto our purple one. And then this one is going to sit onto here like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out roughly where we want it, and if where we're happy, just using a pencil, we're just going to put a little line there so that we know not to put any glue above that line. So we can put the glue on the back here like so. And we know where that line is, so we can do this way around, making sure that your gap on this side is the same on both sides. So the best bet is to pop this on here, between two lots of lines if you've got the grid paper or any grid, and then watch where the rest of it goes. So that's got to go that way a tiny bit, and there we have it. It's sitting on there nicely, look at that. And it may look a bit out, but it's definitely not, well, it must be out because it's not rocking in the middle. It's going to one side, so we have to then carefully move it along a tiny bit to bring it back into the centre, and you will see that there we go, it's back into the centre now. So I'm doing a really good job of making everything wonky today, aren't I? So that's our card, and it's now a matter of just decorating. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of my happy birthday and just pop this into the middle of the white section. I just like to put dots, I find it easier. It will all hold, so. Oh dear. I've got sore eyes today, and I don't know why. So there's our glue onto the back of that one, and we're just going to then, on an angle, we're going to pop him across the middle here and stick him down nicely. The bits that are hanging up, the kind of glue that I use, that won't become sticky. So there's our card, and now we're going to stamp our flowers. So we're going to stamp them. I'm going to stamp them in Highland Heather again, so I would do 6 of these, but I will only do 2. So and what I would do then is I would just cut them off of that card because I'm not sure which way around I need my punch, and then I would just punch them out when I've got them in the right. This punch is a horrible punch. Gets stuck on me. Oh, there we go. Got it. No, I can't. I got it around the wrong way. Never mind. There we go. And I will just punch them out like so, and I'll show you what we're going to do. And I'll finish them off later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my board, my sponge board, and I'm just going to tease these petals up a tiny bit just to break the fibres. Now I've done this already on 2 of them already, so once I've done that I will need my tool just for in the middle to bring them up like so, and then I will stick a bit of glue into the middle of that one there like that, and then pop my lid back on my glue, because in this weather it dries out very quickly. One on top of the other. Oops, get on top of there. One on top of the other, and stick that down nice and hard. And then I will put some small dimensions on the back of these to hold them onto the front of the card. So, like so. And we will then, I've also decorated these ones with my Nuvo dots, so I'll show you what they are if you haven't heard of Nuvo dots before, which is not a Stampin' Up product, but I really like them. So you pop your things on there. If you're happy with it, you just give it a rock to see that it's going to rock nicely. Yes, it's going to rock beautifully, and it's not sort of staying one. Oh, this one's staying one side or the other. That's, you make sure that it's standing up nicely. If it's down on one side or the other, it means that you've got more weight on one side than the other. But you know, it doesn't. To me, I don't mind if it sits a little bit crooked. You know, to me, that's half the fun of a card. Okay, with my Nouveau drops now, I have these Nouveau drops. They're called glitter drops. They're silver moon dust, so which means that they're clear. So you just drop your Nouveau drops into the middle, and they turn into little pearls. So I've done that one in the middle there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do them right around the edge of my card. And then I'm going to do a few on the green section. On the white section. And again around the edge of my card here. They look like they come up in little bits that come up, but they turn into beautiful little domes. They take a little while to dry, but you know what? They still look gorgeous. Well, I think they do anyway. Everybody's different. You might not like them. You can, if you've got Stampin' Up pearls and you want to pop them around the edge, go for it. I just like using lots of products. I do love my Stampin' Up products. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like my Stampin' Up products. I love my Stampin' Up products. But there are times when I want something that they don't sell. And that's my card for today. What do you think? This is when they have dried, and because of the style of these ones, you can see that they've actually taken on the colouring of the purple Highland Gorgeous Grape ink underneath. Oh gosh, I had a mental blank there. So that's my card for today. That's the one I did before. Whoops. And this one is, I did the gold Nouveau drops on this one. And I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? If you've enjoyed today's project, if you would please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I do read them all. If you would like the written tutorial for the measurements for this card, please head over to my Facebook group called Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials, where you will find the written tutorial, and it is free. Everything on my site is free. I just asked you to join, and it'd be great if you could post a picture of the card that you've made. So there you go. Thank you, and I will see you again soon. Bye.